to another wonderful episode of Top Clack. I am Man of Interest, joined by my ever so wonderful co-host, Quakums, aka Brian. And this week we have a good amount of news.
Some hype news.
So definitely some hype, especially when it comes to the keyboard news. Let's hit that intro and then do our normal small talk stuff. Intro.
Putz just asked if I dabbed. No, I went like this. Is that a dab? Like I thought a dab was like this thing.
Are we old now?
Maybe I just don't know what a dab is.
Yeah, I know. Brian, how's your week been?
My week has been pretty good. Haven't been able to focus too much on keyboard stuff, but that's okay. That's what that's what our show today is for, and then we'll be doing some fun keyboard stuff tomorrow as well. But it's what everybody's commenting on my beard. Like, yeah, I trimmed it down a little bit. Sorry, guys. Relax. It actually looks bad if I grow it out. Like, it doesn't grow right on the right sides. Come on.
Colbin also shaved today, but except he looks older after he shaved.
Really? That's kind of strange.
Yeah. He posted the pic on General and Discord, and people are like, "You turn from like Starbucks barista to COO."
Starbucks barista. He's like super hipster or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, before we get too off topic here, what about you, Huey? How has your week been?
Pretty good. Yes. Yesterday I had a keyboard chores. The VOD is uploading to YouTube as we speak because I forgot to do that. I desoldered my MX Mini for the umpteenth time, and I built up this KBD pad V2. I don't really have any keycaps for it, so I'm using a lot of placeholders. I'm doing an all 1x1 layout. I haven't programmed it yet either. Bootmapper client, thank goodness.
For the win. Let's go.
This is going to be a dual use for me, though. I'm not using this as a numpad, so people know when I do my review. I'm using this as a stream deck for when I stream. I have hotkeys to switch scenes, and maybe I'll have like fancy effects pop up every now and then, because I can now really easily. But other than that, the main use, we'll be using it when I use Adobe Premiere to edit videos for shortcuts and macros, which is really cool. Aside from that,
my chat's like not working.
You should hit that F5, my dude.
I did. I just refreshed it twice. Twitch chat is just like dead for me.
RIP.
I imagine people are talking in Twitch chat right now.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there the option to like do with like the pop out chat? Maybe that'll,
Oh wait, here we go. I guess back. Yes. Okay. I'm good now. Sorry, guys. Back on topic. So, quick first impressions on that KBD pad. How are you liking it so far?
The anodization is nicer than the 5 degree, which is a good start.
That's good.
But then again, that's a pretty low standard to go off of. It's decently weighty. Let me. I haven't weighed it yet. I'll weigh it right now, actually. So this is with keycaps on, built with Haata violets.
Oh, fancy.
1 pound, 2.2 ounces. Decent. It's all aluminum. I so far it's decent. I like the cutout for the USB port. That's decent.
Sorry, what was the weight on that again?
1 pound, 2.2 ounces.
Not bad for a numpad. All right.
Yeah, not too bad. I've been enjoying that, and aside from that, I've been working on a lot of reviews and preparing a new computer build so I can edit videos and stream better. I got some RAM today. So
did you download more RAMs?
Yeah.
More dedicated RAM.
So that's gonna be pretty cool. But yeah. Other than that, just been working on a lot of videos. Got some Witch Switch episodes planned for this weekend. So it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be pretty good.
Oh yeah, good stuff. Wow, I'm already showing 100 viewers. That's crazy at this early in the stream.
Yeah, thanks guys.
So thank you guys very much for coming out. We'll be stepping into the news momentarily. We do not have a guest planned for today, so if that's why you're here, I apologize. We will have one for the foreseeable future. We have several lined up, so that's pretty cool too. We will have a Q&A segment at the end of the show, as we always do. So if you have questions, make sure to try to keep those for later, and we will get to them when we get to them. So, We have some cool news today.
Yeah, before we get to the
start
news,
us off?
I just want to say thank you, Recupero, for your resub 2 months. Thank you so much for that. Finally got back on a live stream to resub. Thank you so much.
We appreciate
for that. So let's move over to the news section. I'm sorry, I haven't fixed that sponsor GIF yet. It still looks really ghetto.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice.
I will fix it this weekend. I'll try to. Someone remind me in chat if I don't. Remind me this weekend. Don't remind me like right now. But yeah, I'll get to it. I will get to it. And now we must do the news. First off, on Keycap news, we have an interest check for the Alps Throwback. It is a 60% DCS Alps Keycap set for the modern M0110. The last time we saw an Alps DCS set was the Alpine Winter set, I believe, which was a cool minute ago.
It was several years ago. That was like 2013 or 14, I think. So it's been a while.
Yeah, so this is a set basically paying homage to the original Alps set. And it's going to be in the wonderful thinness that is DCS. Thank you, TCBP, by the way, for the bits. Good compatibility for everything you need for the modern M0110.
Yeah, and unsurprisingly, this is being run by the same guy that designed the M0110, the modern one. Sorry, not the original.
So looking at $120 for an MOQ of 100 units, they're going to be all text mods. So
yeah, classy, very classy. And this will support more standard 60% as well. It's not just for the M0110 layout. Keep that in mind there. So hopefully this goes over pretty well. It's always tough when you launch an interest check that is like really more tailored to like a specialized product that not a ton of people are going to be buying.
yeah.
Because obviously the modern M0110, really cool product. We got to check it out at the NorCal meetup not too long ago. It's awesome. It's really, really, really cool.
Oh yeah.
But it's also not going to be cheap, and thus not a ton of people are going to be buying it. So it's like, it's going to be hard to get all of that interest. For
yeah,
this because,
and like if they don't hit the 100 MOQ for a 50 MOQ, it's $200 a set, and that's a no. That's a no.
You don't get enough compatibility for $200+. It's just not really a thing. Nobody should be buying that at $200 or more. That's very, very, very unrealistic. 120, a little bit more reasonable, but I mean, again, that's the same price as a lot of the full GMK sets that we're seeing group by price these days. And this is A, not GMK, and B, has remarkably less compatibility. So you got to be really, really, really into this particular thing to want this. But hey, I mean, Alps caps always good. DCS, I like DCS. So we'll see where it goes.
Speaking of going places, know what would be a great place to visit?
Greece.
That is correct. Why would it be a great
Yay.
place to visit, Brian?
Probably like the food, the architecture, maybe the people. I don't know. Probably not this key set, but I don't know. Like if you'd see this key set a lot in Greece, but I don't know.
I think it looks pretty baller though, because this is the interest check for GMK Greek Olivetti. Yeah. The molds exist. Cherry has the molds. They've produced sets like this in the past. So people are like, wait a second, these molds exist. Why not run a modern run for it? I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty much always a fan of sub-legends, especially ones that you don't see terribly often. Greek sub-legends, something we don't see terribly often. So I'm down for that. I am down with the clown.
Do you think Olivetti is the best choice for this?
No.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, because Olivetti has never really been a set that's sold that well in group buys. I feel like Olivetti has been ran, that colorway has been ran at least a couple times now, at least two that I can think of off the top of my head, and in both times it wasn't exactly like a stellar sell, wasn't a killer set that everyone felt the need to buy. So I don't know. I think doing something a little bit probably like more mundane, like 9009, or maybe a new colorway. I think both of those might have been better options than Olivetti.
Honestly, I would have preferred just a classic black on beige.
Yeah,
I would have preferred. But I'm happy that people are experimenting more with cherry and alternative legends. It looks like.
I mean, you have to go somewhere. We can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again. So.
Yeah. The person says the price of this set will most likely be cheaper than 9009 because this set doesn't have accent keys.
Okay.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. We have original colorway and icon mods like 9009. I like the icon mod idea. I like icon mods.
I do too.
So
a lot.
I might get this because I don't have a light blue set. I have Hydro, but I consider that like good for a dark blue.
Yeah, Hydro is kind of a darker blue. IMO.
Yeah, I would consider getting this for a light blue set to go a blue board.
Yep. So he's aiming at a 150 MOQ to be 135 euro, which I think is like $155 or so. So not terribly cheap, but not terribly expensive either. You can show interest there in the thread or with the Google form. He has linked there as well. Pretty neat, though. If the molds already exist, I'm surprised we haven't seen a set with this yet. But hey, better late than never, I guess. Gives you some variety.
Yup. Okay, let's move on to some keyboard news. Let's start off with something interesting by our one and true friendly frog, Thunderburger.
I like how he has that little like preface there. Thunderburger, your one and true friendly frog here.
This is the TMO50 keyboard. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the no, dog.
Nah, man, this is sick. This is actually cool.
Why is it actually cool, Brian?
Because it's not like the other 40% on the market. It doesn't matter how good or bad the functionality is. It's a cool product. I mean, obviously, it is a little strange, but it's still new. It's fun. It's whimsical. A lot of people really don't like blockers on 40%, and I can totally see why. It kind of really hurts your functionality. Kind of like the Pearl, for example. Awesome looking 40%. It looks amazing. But really, really, really low functionality for a 40% board. And I think that this board kind of suffers a little bit in the same way. Although we do have those 4 keys on the left side for your artisans, of course. It's an artisan holder. But I think it's fun. I don't know. I think I'm just at the point in the community where I don't want to see the same things like ever again. Or like anything too similar. Like I need wild things. I need completely new ideas and things to blow my mind.
I agree with you, but this isn't blowing my mind in the right way. This is blowing my mind in like, but why? Kind of way, which is fine in a way, but like
you just don't understand our 40%
I don't. That's the thing. I don't.
I'm kidding. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, still in IC format here. We don't really have too much info. I'd like to see a prototype. I'd like to see how this case is actually supposed to look. I don't even think he has like actual like any kind of renders aside from just this like KLE one and
no,
just very bad like top down view.
But if you're interested in this, fill out that form. PLZ, he says. Something that I actually do understand a bit more than the TMO50 though is this next topic, the Helix Keyboard, which I found on this site. That is a Japanese site, so it will be translated on my screen. It's a split ortho board that uses either KL low profile or MX switches because it supports both.
I'm like trying to find an angle where I can see what kind of switches it is.
Well, if you scroll down, he has pictures of one with the low profile keycaps with the shine through. And
oh yeah, no, I see lots of those. I think they're Kale switches.
Yeah, they're Kale low profiles.
Tops. Yeah. Cool. Cool.
I think the split low profile looks pretty nifty.
Yeah. It's very, very lightweight, very portable.
Man, look at that PCB with all those holes where the microcontrollers solder in. Like, man, that's intense.
That's like it's giving me a headache just looking at it.
That's intense. So there's a few versions. There's acrylic version, a stainless steel version, and a few acrylic versions with underglow or backlighting. Soldering is required if you get one. They're all in back order right now, so they'll be back in stock when they are. But
yeah. So kind of like a let split thing here, which is let splits and like alterations to let splits have been really popular.
Yeah,
in the community for the last 2 years now or so, whenever the let split came out. So I mean, hey, always more things going on. Very cool.
GMK is used, and I like it. It says pursuit of thinness.
Pursuit of thinness. Okay.
Good goal for them.
Story of my life. Except for not really.
I was gonna say, man, that's interesting way of pursuing your dreams there. But yeah, this board is pretty cool. I just stumbled upon this, and
yeah, actually, I feel kind of bad because I didn't replace the link, but there's a post on Mech Market by someone that presumably speaks English, but I didn't even realize. In time.
No worries. Speaking of, I don't know what you're speaking of. But
speaking of no worries.
Yeah, speaking of no
Rama
worries.
Designs.
Rama. Yeah, as everyone should know by now, Rama M60. It's available for order. It's gonna be open for a month if you don't have money now, like me. Yeah. Solderless in switch RGBs. PCB designed by Wilba. Looks amazing. USB-C. Lots of great colors.
Yeah. 2-weight system.
I like for every single color, it has to be a 4-letter word. So Kuro, Moon, Mist, Dusk, Blake, and Sage.
Yeah, I didn't realize that at first, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
You can also add an interior extra weight to make it even heavier if it's not heavy enough. You can also buy a kit that will include the new box Royal switches that Novel Keys will have soon.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh. Wait. I imagine the price. Okay, so the price base kit, well, base like full kit is $360.
Yes.
And the extra interior weight is $85. So $445 if you want both pieces plus shipping, presumably. Not the cheapest in the world, but I mean, there's a lot of work that went into this. So I think the base price here is actually pretty reasonable considering we have a PCB with KL hot swaps and SMD RGB. You have this sick design. Got USB-C on there as well. This is
Brian.
This is a looker, man.
Are you going to get the M60A?
Yep. Hands down. Nope. Yep. Can't pass this one up, man.
Nice, Sue.
I think this is going to be one of the best keyboards ever.
It is $45
That's how much
for the starter kit, by the way, and that's for one 7U screw-in spacebar, two 2U screw-in spacebars, all GMK screw-ins, and 65 novel keys KL box Royal switches. B-dubs.
Interesting. That's kind of cool. I'm a little surprised that Rama is kind of going a little bit all in there with the box royals when they haven't even come out yet, so we have no idea what they feel like. Obviously, Mike of Novel Keys, the one that's working on that project, probably isn't going to let us down. I'm sure the switches are probably going to be great, but it feels very un-Rama for him to take like a chance like that.
Maybe, like many other people who already have them, he has a sample. Because quite a few people in our community already have samples. If you go to the Top Clack Discord, link down below, people have been talking about it. Brian and I will be receiving our samples tomorrow. We're unfortunately on the farther side of the country as some of the other sample testers who live closer to Mike. So they have their samples today. Yeah. We'll talk about the box royals and the other news section. Well, don't worry, guys. We'll get to it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But right now, let's go back to this M60A. I'm not fully convinced I want this yet.
Okay. What are you hesitant on it about?
The price.
The price? Okay.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's fair.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is a keyboard for me, but we will see. I mean, for me, my biggest hesitation is the price because, like, I have so many projects I need to work on. Like, prioritizing how I spend my money is a big deal now in the hobby. So we'll see.
Yeah. So a couple of noteworthy specs here. If you're too lazy to read through the thread, the main enclosure is all one single piece of aluminum. The plate is 5 millimeters in thickness, so same as the Zephyr plate that we saw recently from Zeal. Although this one is not brass, obviously, it's a single piece of aluminum. Still should be pretty cool at 5 millimeters. The angle is 8 degrees. Yeah, like we said before, SMD, RGB per switch, as well as the KL hot swap sockets with that custom PCB that you got there. I think this is a winner. I cannot wait to get one of these. I don't know what color I want though.
If I get one,
the mist.
If I get one, I'm going to go with the dusk.
Dusk. I might actually go with the lake, honestly, because I don't really own mini boards that are kind of like a non-neutral color, and I feel like I need one or two more like super nice boards that are like specialized in color. I don't know. What do you guys? What is chat like here? What are the favorite colors in chat? 'Cause I think they all look pretty good.
I think
dusk is probably going to be a favorite.
Sage is going to be a favorite.
Yeah.
The blue and green, both of those are just amazing.
Yeah, because the prototype that Rama has is the Sage, so he's been showing that off on like Facebook and Instagram if you've been following him, so you can actually see the real Sage prototype, and it has been looking really nice. One thing that I like about all these colors, even like the pink, the navy, and the green, they're not like super in your face. Like they're all still really subtle.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, you know, that's kind of how Rama does things. Like it's not like a super flashy thing. It's like a very like.
You know
sexy
for this board, I'm going to say I believe black is the wrong way to go for the colors, for any of these colors.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. Lake, sage, sage or lake, sage, sage, lake, sage. Wow, really? Lake and I didn't realize lake and sage would be that popular.
Hell yeah, my dude.
Mist, lake, moon, dusk. Okay. Huh. Hey, man. Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, like you mentioned earlier, it is live now. You can pre-order it right now, and it will be live for a month. Is there an end date actually listed somewhere?
Yeah, 4/20, April 20th.
4/20. All right. So, up for about a month. Very cool. Make sure you get in on that.
So, that will be exciting. Maybe we can have Rama and Kate on before it ends. That'd be pretty cool. We'll see.
Yeah, they're very busy people.
They're very busy.
Hard to nail down, but anything's possible. That would be very cool.
Hmm. Speaking of things that are very possible and very cool, we have an announcement. We are keen to some insider information, which is the Kira is launching soon. Check out this link. It is to get on the mailing list to be notified when the Kira campaign page goes live Tuesday, March 27th at 7 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
It's
so
happening.
you guys get the first look here.
So I do know the base model will have a plastic top bottom. There is an option to upgrade to an aluminum top for those who want a really nice top, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, so a couple things to note here. We don't have finalized prices yet, but the one without the aluminum top will be under $200. I would be totally honest. I thought the aluminum top was going to be under $200, so I'm a little bummed about that. But hopefully the aluminum top won't be too much more, and it'll still be like a really competitive price. Probably will be. I'm not terribly worried about it, but I was a little bit bummed out about that. Does come with some pretty nice cherry profile keycaps though, as well as your SMD RGBs and your underglows if you're into all that flashy lighting.
Kale hot swap sockets. USB-C is the future.
Like you can see in that link, it will go live Tuesday, March 27th, so 5 days from now at 7 a.m. And there's also in this little page, there's a little teaser trailer, a little 13-second video that's pretty fun to watch. You can also sign up for the mailing list right there on the page, so you can be notified. And of course, it'll go live before next week's episode, so we'll definitely be talking about it on next week's episode. Good
Hopefully we get samples.
I would love to get a prototype of this.
Yeah.
The aluminum one.
Yeah.
Or actually, maybe even the plastic one. Maybe the plastic prototype is the way to go here. Just so we can see, like, because that'll probably be the one that more people are buying, unless the price is like a no-brainer. Like, if the aluminum is only like $20 more or something, like that's kind of a no-brainer. But
I'd say even if it was $40 more, you'd have $240 with keycaps, with switches, keyboard with aluminum top, and cool underglow bottom. Still kind of worth it to me. When it gets to like 300 is where I'd be like, I would probably want to get a custom instead.
Yeah. I'm really, really interested to see what kind of pricing we'll have there. Andrew has also told us, I don't even know if we should be sharing this information yet, but he did tell us, I'm going to do it anyways, Rip.
Do it.
So he said there will be early bird discounts for being one of the first buyers. So I don't know what that means exactly. Could be a little discount, could be a big discount, could be some extras or bonuses or something. But that could be something to look forward to as well. This keyboard's pretty hype, honestly. It seems like it's going to pack a lot of value, a lot of functionality, and it's gonna hit a lot more of that like truly premium custom market that the K-Type kind of failed hitting. K-Type an awesome board in its own right, but it still is kind of like, in the way a lot of people like us see it, it's still kind of an entry-level board in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really have that like truly epic premium like custom feel and look. Whereas I think the Kira is a little bit more of that.
Yes.
And depending on who you are, that could be better or worse.
Speaking of things that are kind of high, I forgot to cover it last week, but I remembered because I got the email for my order today. The form for the TX boards opened up. I know a lot of people got the email last 2-3 days as well. This is for the TX 60, 65, and 84 SE. That blue is beautiful, by the way. Same with that champagne.
After this topic, we need a roundabout because you skipped a couple.
Oh yeah, we do. That's right.
Yeah. I was really thrown off for a second, but I tried to keep up, so we're good. We're good.
Okay, cool.
Anyways, yes, TX boards by Kin, the legend himself.
Yeah. Oof.
I've always been a fan of the TX boards, honestly.
Same.
Particularly like the TX84, the one with the blockers. I think that looks quite nice. I think the TX75 also looks pretty good. I'm digging the TX60 as well.
I want to get that champagne TX60. That is my #1 goal. And the good news is, if you fill out a form and you're able to get in, he actually has them all in stock. What it is you send in the form, he checks the inventory. If he has it, he packs your order and then sends you the invoice. Once you pay, he ships. This isn't like a straight up group buy. This is, he has them. They're made. The forms went out to Korea first, so his inventory is running pretty low. For example, they don't have that blue color for the 84s, which is very, very unfortunate. And that's why this is under the Artisan Services forum instead of the Group Buy forum. So they're TX boards. The issue is they can be a bit pricey. Like TX60, $350 plus shipping plus PayPal.
So that's already over $400.
Yeah, for us in the U.S., that's $350 plus $68 shipping. So I'm at over $400, and then PayPal fee. But of course, it also it does come with the really, really awesome case that I like. That's why the shipping is a lot, because it comes with that really cool, I don't know if you guys have seen the TX carrying cases at meetups, but they're amazing.
Okay. TX65 is $10 more, and the TX84 SE is not cheap at all.
$500 dues.
Plus shipping, plus PayPal fees. So that's about a $600 board already. That is quite a pretty penny.
Oh yeah.
But hey, if you're really, really into this kind of thing, totally understand.
The weight is huge though, for all these boards.
Yeah. Something to note in this extra part section, the bag is an additional $35.
If you want an extra bag. All the kits will come with a bag if you want extra bags.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because a lot of people, I know, like, for example, a lot of people bought and board just so they can get, like, 4 bags for the rest of their other Ram 60%.
You know what I think he should be doing here?
What should he be doing?
Or anyone that's doing this kind of thing should be doing here is keep like an updated number of stock on how much you have left.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Of like each color and each board. I think that would be outrageously helpful, because I don't know like what he's sold out of right now, and like I don't know like how often he updates what he's sold out of. He just says the colors are not many, quantity are not many.
Yes.
So like you just kind of like have to guess and hope, I guess. Either way, if you're really into TX boards, bam, here's several options for you if you can afford them.
Speaking of things I wonder whether people can afford or not, but probably because of the designer. The interest check has started for the Oblivion keyboard. This is by Air Potter, who is also known as a Gray. He's the designer of the COD 67. And he's designing a 100% custom keyboard, and 100% is the size. Quite interesting. It has blockers. Maybe not the size you'd expect them to be.
This is a really interesting board.
Yeah.
Oblivion, obviously not to be confused with the Oblivion colorway by Oblotsky, who has done Oblivion GMK sets and SA upcoming. So this is not that same project, but yeah, he has a little model board there. I don't know what that is. Some kind of old Alps board. But that's kind of the layout he's going for, which is strange.
Yep.
I'm not sold on that particular kind of thing, but
this is what we talked about earlier, where we want something new and unique. This is my idea of new and unique, as opposed to weird really 40%.
Cool. Yeah.
So on the stream, I had a picture of the back of the keyboard. You know what the back of the keyboard kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of, for some reason, if you took the silhouette of like a 1080.
Yeah, yeah, it does look like an NVIDIA graphics card. Yeah.
Rip GPU pricing. Get a custom instead, guys. It'll probably be it'll be cheaper.
Yeah. Oh, you could get a TX84 special edition for like the same price. The 1080.
So based on how I'm looking at this, I think those strips above the numpad are going to be the 3 LED indicators, which I think is really
most
cool.
Definitely. Yep. most definitely. So, what is this more of like an 1800 style, or is this more like a full size?
It's
style?
like
What would you call this?
I'd say it's closer to a full size than an 1800, because the cool thing about the 1800 is those separated arrow keys, right?
Yeah.
This has the arrow keys either right there on the bottom under the enter.
Yeah, because footprint-wise, this should be a little bit smaller than a full-size 100% keyboard, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, the middle section's kind of like a 65%.
Yeah.
Basically, which is cool. 65% numpad. You got your function keys on top, and then you have 2 extra keys after the F12.
Yeah, footprint-wise, that middle section is the same size as a traditional 65%. So,
this is why I like. It's like combining a lot of different cool ideas.
Yeah, it is very, very different, very unique.
I like the blockers.
I do too. I prefer. This board is just not symmetrical enough for me in terms of the layout. I do appreciate what it's trying to do.
I just wish it wasn't. It didn't have ISO support for that spacebar. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
That fan noise you guys might be hearing is the rain. I'm gonna close my window.
Ah. I was curious what that was. I don't know. Pretty cool. I mean, once again, Air Potter, designer of the COD 67, you know, a Chinese-based designer, presumably. I'm pretty sure that's where he is. You know, again, like I said in our recent COD 67 review, these guys are like really going all out. Like, they're not taking risks. They are taking risks. Sorry, like they're trying so many new things, and like this is like a really, really neat and unique design. And like I really like that a lot of the Chinese designers are kind of going this route lately, and just like really just being like, let's do this, like totally new thing.
Let's just do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of just being like, well, you know, this old OTD or LZ board looks cool. Let's basically do a clone of it. Like a lot of the Western designers tend to do, which I mean is cool, but it's just not quite as interesting, I guess. So cool stuff. We'll keep an eye on this. Hopefully, this might be something that hits Z Frontier, for example. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they've worked together in the past, so maybe not. We'll hopefully see at a later date if this has enough interest. Which this is an interest check, so if you're into it, make sure you show some of that. Speaking of interest checks
and something also very interesting.
You should be showing interest for
from another awesome prominent designer. From Mr. Ryan Norbauer, one of the best guests we've ever had on Top Clack, introducing the interest check for the Heavy 6, a Norbauer housing for the Leopold FC660C.
Okay, so first things first, let's address that name. The Heavy 6.
Well, I think
that is very inconsistent with his other products.
What would you call the Norbapold?
Yep, you gotta call it Norba something, I'm sorry. You have to, because at this point, no. At this, it doesn't even matter if he wants to or not. At this point, the Norba Force and the Norba Touch are like they're synonymous with what they
guys,
are.
I got
it. You say that like that's what you know. You don't.
I got it, guys. I got it. The Norba 6.
Yeah, like that. That's fine.
The Norba 6. It's Ryan Norbauer. I'm sorry, but people are gonna start calling it the Norba 6 or Norba C or Norba 6C. But this is the keyboard. Please fill out his 2-question survey if you indicate your interest. It helps him a lot. He's been prototyping it in SLA originally. When I visited him last month, I actually checked out the 3D printed SLA keyboard, and I had some input for him. But it's pretty cool. I think he did a great job working with the design limitation that is making a case for the FC660C.
Mm-hmm. Indeedio. So, as we'd expect from Norbauer, this thread is just jam-packed with pictures, renders, and all the information you could possibly want at this stage in the group buy, as well as him actually weighing it. So it weighs just shy of 5 pounds. So that's almost as heavy as my fully built Fiel. That's not light at all.
brass bottom. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, pretty hardcore there. So design-wise, if you look at the bottom here and kind of like the edges and the sides and such, it's fairly close in terms of design to the Norba Force, in my opinion, which is, you know, it's kind of cool to keep that his own kind of design
that
aesthetic.
seamless design. You see no center seam or anything. It's case.
Yeah.
And considering the finishes that he offered with the Norba Force, I'm excited to see what other finishes he'll be offering here. So far, he has clear Type 2 anodized, which is silver, a black Type 3 hard anodized, 2 powder coat options, and some other custom powder coat options as well. And that's also the ascending order of cash dollar dues.
Yeah,
So,
this is pretty sick. I can't wait to see like a finished prototype, because this is kind of like a raw version.
apparently my audio is being weird, so I'm gonna try to adjust it for you guys.
You're back now.
I'm back. Oh, I'm back now.
Yeah, you were getting really quiet for a second.
Rip.
Yeah, something like your auto gain or something like that. It does that every now and then. I don't know, man.
It's raining so hard right now. I'm sorry if you guys didn't hear the rain. Like, it is disruptingly... And thunder.
Nice. You know, that might be a top Clack first. Totally cool with it. Totally cool with it. Also, quick shout out. We have 125 live viewers currently. I think that might be the highest we've ever had ever. So that's really cool. Thank you guys for coming out and watching us talk about keyboards and keyboard news and bullshit.
So, man, I don't currently own an FC660C. I used to. I might have to get one for the Heavy 6. To be perfectly honest.
Is this something? Yeah, are you getting one of these? Is this something that you feel like you're gonna have to buy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, like, so, for all of you who may not know, like, Brian and I also used to do a lot of old text reviews, and basically, one of the synonymous opinions that us and many other Topper enthusiasts have is, based off quality and build quality, a stock FC660C is better than a stock HHKB.
Oh, yeah, by a pretty wide margin.
By a very wide margin. The HHKB has a lot, so the advantage of the HHKB is a lot of advantages in terms of customization that usually the FC660 fell behind on. Now with this case, that is a game changer. Absolute game changer.
Yeah, and it's funny. I've kind of been hearing people talk a little about this. And people are like, oh, why don't we have like custom HHKB cases and stuff? Like, because it's a very different design. It's much harder to design for because the HHKB has an integrated plate and not dedicated slider housings.
Yeah. Like
the 660C and Real Force and Nova Touch have. So very big difference, and that's why we don't see that kind of thing. But yeah, this is looking really good. We'll have to keep a close eye on this. Obviously, still an interest check format, but you can definitely bet it will be coming to group buy soon. This isn't something that's just going to flop. Like, this is going to happen. So everyone, cool. Make sure you fill out that survey.
Yes, please fill that 2-question survey. Help him out. Help everyone else out. It's great. He has his interest check up with actual prototypes, something that we always love to see.
Yep, and a really healthy amount of information and pictures and design theories in the thread itself. So cool stuff. Can't wait to see this start.
You know what we also love to see, or who we love to see? We love to see Haata, don't we?
We do.
He is an incredible person, and recently he was on Gizmodo's new show that they're starting called Show Me Your Nerd.
And Haata is quite a nerd.
Yes. Known as the Keyboard King, according to Gizmodo. Over 600 keyboards. I've seen a good amount of them when I visited the lab. But if you haven't had a chance to check out this video, you definitely should. It gives you a good insight on someone who's really dedicated to this hobby and to the passion that is keyboards. I've never met someone as committed to keyboards as Jacob before. Yep. Never. Like, a lot of you know I really love keyboards. I'm really into this. Brian and I have a show about keyboards, and I'll still say Jacob is probably the most dedicated person to the hobby and to the passion that is keyboards I've ever met.
Yeah, that video is really fun to watch. It's only 4 minutes. Like it's pretty quick.
It's a quick watch. Check it out.
Totally fun.
Check it out.
It's a lot of fun. And if you haven't actually seen the episode that we did with Haata, you should go back and watch it because it definitely is one of the best episodes.
Yes,
by far. He has so much knowledge and such a passion for keyboards that like it's truly awesome. So make sure you go check that out as well as this video. I'll probably watch it again.
Yeah.
All right. So one other thing we have on the news doc, one of our partners over at Chrono.store, which is Input Club, just put up these
group buy.
wood. Is it actually a group buy?
It is. It says, note, this group buy will end April 21st.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, it's supposed to ship by June 25th. So this is a wood case by Datamancer, very similar to like the 60% cases that he already does, except this one is specialized for the whitefox itself. Just like his 60% cases, they will have it's like a tray. It's like a flat tray, then you also have a top that goes over the top of it. So like it doubles as a carrying case as well, very protective. So that's pretty cool.
I like because the normal whitefox and nightfox is very low profile. The way they fitted it in is they made the edges taller, so it's kind of like it's still low profile in my opinion, but it's not like as low profile. I'd still call that a stretch because I consider like the M65 a medium profile, but better than being completely low profile. Brass screw inserts. The two halves are magnetically latching, which is really cool.
Oh, really? That's pretty sweet.
It's going to be compatible to the current USB-C whitefoxes and nightfoxes, so probably not the super old one because the USB port is a different cutout size. Got either bright cherry or dark walnut wood, which both ways will look pretty good. Good.
So if you guys weren't aware, Huey and I are supposed to be getting samples of the whitefox and the nightfox. Here pretty soon we'll be doing a dual build stream. That'll be a lot of fun. Huey will be getting the nightfox, I believe, might be using those sweet new Hako violet switches. I will be getting a whitefox, but I will also be getting one of these cases as far as I'm aware. So I can check out the Datamancer case and give some thoughts and maybe a little review on it before it actually ships out. So that could be pretty cool as well. Love it.
Yeah. Speaking of things we love our partners.
Oh yes. Maybe too much. Maybe we love our partners too much, Huey.
Is there such thing as too much love?
No, definitely not. So up first, like we just talked about, Chrono.store, powered by Input Club. Input Club, one of our amazing sponsors. They have lots of cool things going on, of course, like we just talked about with the wood whitefox cases and the upcoming Kira. They're working on lots of cool things going on, and they just put out the Hako violet switches for that group buy. Wait, that is a group buy, right?
It is a group buy. It's pre-order. They're happening.
Okay. Yeah, so fulfillment date estimated on the 25th of next month, so about a month away. So something to note about these is they are effectively Hako true or clear, but they have a lighter spring. So kind of like how the true and the clear differ, the Hako violet will differ as well because the spring can actually change a lot more than just the weight of the switch. It changes multiple properties. So if the Hako clears or trues were too heavy for you, which I heard a lot of people kind of complain about, the Hako violet might be for you because it has a 50-gram spring. So quite light, but obviously it'll still have that nice curve up top, which is arguably a little bit more noticeable on this than it is on both the clears and the trues. So maybe that'll make people a little bit happier that I've been saying that they're linear or whatever, which they're not. They're not.
I will be having a which switch episode on Hako switches, all three of them in the same episode because I usually do them in batches. So expect that coming soon, as well as a lot of other which switch episodes. So yeah, thanks to Input Club for that stuff and helping out with that. Moving on to our next awesome, wonderful partner is Zeal over at Zeal PC, who has some awesome switches. He has the Telios that we very much like, the blue Xylence, the purple Zelio, and some awesome stabilizers, as well as the Revision 3 Zeal 60 RGB LED PCB. You should definitely check out his switches, and you should also check out his switches if you like lubing switches. I actually talked to Zeal the other day in voice chat, and Zeal's like, as much as I like all my switches, I highly recommend anyone who buys my switches try lubing them, because they're going to be great.
Zeal does not use stock switches.
Even his own switches.
Yeah.
He's a big man about lubing switches, so... You should try his switches, and you should try them lubed, honest. I still need to lube my Telios at some point and try those lubed, because I haven't done that yet. And he's like, I'm sponsoring you. What are you doing with those unlubed, Huey? I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I'll get to it.
It's actually funny. So before he sponsored us, like a while back when Telios first launched, I was like, hey, can I get like a pack of them, like a review sample of them, like so I can check them out? And he's like, yeah, sure. And like I got them, like I built up my M65. I used them unlubed for a while. I did wind up lubing them with some lube that he sent me from his store, so they came out awesome. But like after like a few days of using them stock, he was like, so how are they? And I was like, what do you mean? Don't you have them? And he's like, well, yeah, but like I don't use unlubed switches. Like how are they? And I was like, what? Like, I think they're amazing, but like, why, like, how are you asking me this question right now? It was pretty hilarious. But obviously, Telios are our favorite MX format linear right now. They're amazing, whether you lube them or not. In my opinion, I like them a lot stock. I'll be doing a build with them stock very soon. I also like them lubed. I'll probably lube some more. They're fantastic. They really are. I need to mess around with different springs though. I think I might try like a lighter or a heavier Telio as well. And also. The tactile switches, Huey and I are both big fans of the newer ones with the updated springs on the 67 and 78 gram variant.
78 is my fave.
Yeah, I use that in my Time TKL. It's awesome. They're smooth. The bump is very nice and round. I think if you like that like more normal traditional style of MX tactility, I think they're the best switch that you can get right now. And they're fantastic. I'm gonna lube those too, I think.
Speaking of things that are also fantastic, our third wonderful partner, Novel Keys, has a giant selection of switches, a lot of Kale switches, a lot of box switches. He's working on a new box switch, as I said we'd mention later, which is the Box Royal. We're getting our samples tomorrow. Lots of people are getting Royals in the mail for samples to test out. Unfortunately, we live on the wrong side of the country to get them quickly, so we'll be getting them later, as in tomorrow. Yay. They're going to be a great switch. He said it's a hybrid between a Holy Panda and a Navy, leaning closer to navies, which is really, really exciting to hear. So be excited for that. He's hoping May is when they'll start going on sale. He has to wait for a large production run to happen, so we will see. I'm excited to get my samples in. We got like 5 coming in, so it'll be pretty good. We've heard really good things from all the people who've got the earlier review samples than us, so that is a very good thing to hear. Check out his awesome shirts he has. Those Novel Key shirts with the Vans. Yeah. He got a big restock recently of like all his switches, so that's really, really awesome. Also, thank
Box
you.
Navies in stock right now if you were waiting for those. I know a lot of people have been.
Yeah.
So those are in stock at the moment.
Yeah.
As well as all of the big switches back in stock.
Yeah,
so
also thank you, Sweaty Yeti, for the bits, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Or Bam. Yeah, whatever. I don't know how sweaty your Yeti is.
And if you shop at Novel Keys, there is a Top Clack promo code. Promo code Top Clack, top space Clack, for 5% off your total order.
Aw, yeah. Make sure you use that and show them some love. Leave them a nice little note about how much you love them.
Yay.
And of course, last but not least, we have Z Frontier, who is our beast in the East, as we like to call them.
East.
You know, they're always doing cool things as well. I forgot to do the link. Sorry. There it is. Okay, so they are doing cool things like always. They have tons and tons and tons of key sets in stock. Probably the biggest selection of key sets in stock like anywhere in the community. Of key sets that like you actually might want to buy because like they're actually cool. Like you got GMK There's JTK. You got like DSA stuff like that.
They're running a cool group buy right now for the creative Starry Night DSA die sub that we covered last week with some of the most baller, finely die subbed novelties we've seen in a cool minute.
Some of the best die sub you can see. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
They also have the Z70 Pro RGB still going on, which is kind of like a really unique HHKB, like 65% with split spacebar, per key RGB. That's designed by Percent, and it has his mix profile caps on it, which Huey had a review out not too long ago about. Not too bad, pretty good looking stuff. And then go pick up a key set, leave them a little love note. They're nice guys.
Yeah, they're really nice. Shipping is really good too.
Yeah, it's like anything over like $100, right? It's free shipping.
Yep. Also, want to say thank you to Proximity for the sub. Every little bit helps and counts.
Yeah.
So now that we finished our commercial break.
Yeah. So let's cover one of these discussion points that we've had sitting around here for a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but then we'll move into a Q&A after that, and we'll wrap up. So, guys in the chat, a little bit of cooperation with you here. What is the most useful keyboard tool that you currently own? The thing you've got the most use or value out of?
The ZD915 desoldering station.
Desoldering station?
Because a desoldering station can save you hundreds in ruined keyboards.
That's true. I'm actually looking for my most useful tool right now.
People are telling us keycap pullers, hex wrenches, switch pullers, switch openers, 25-watt soldering iron, switch testers, those count.
Yeah.
Angled needle nose pliers for switch tuning. Tune 1 keycap puller, switch puller. Keycap puller, solder pult, solder pult.
What is a solder pult?
It's a solder, the fancy solder sucker.
Oh, interesting. Okay. You guys want to see my most useful tool that I use every single time I do any kind of switch modding or keyboard building, pretty much?
Yeah.
Fair tweezers. Fine tip tweezers.
It only took me like 5 years in this hobby to buy tweezers. Actually, off topic from the discussion point, but I actually found a picture that was really, really cool. Let's see if where did I save it? While I find it, what are people saying, Brian?
Let's see. We got Lou Brush hot air station, so like a solder reflow rework station. Interesting. Paco 888D. That's a very popular soldering iron in the community.
So I'll post it in the Discord after the stream. But I found the picture of my order for my first ever mechanical keyboard because I want to know when did I get in the hobby. Wow. November 24th, 2012. I purchased it as a birthday present to myself.
And what keyboard was that?
That was the Cooler Master Storm Quickfire Rapid with blue Cherry MX switches.
Classy.
Classic. $60 US.
Nice. Wow,
which was at the time a steal.
Bargain.
Because those of you who might know keyboard history, in 2013 and 14, there was a Cherry MX switch shortage due to Corsair. Literally due to Corsair. And all the keyboards went up like $30.
Huangfu says, towel for better sound plus wrist rest. I actually still haven't tried that, but that's something I've been meaning to do.
I've tried
I know
that.
other people do that as well.
I don't like it because like I move my arms around my desk and like it's just ruffled and like that.
That's fair. See, I'm kind of picturing like maybe a smaller towel that goes under the keyboard and I can roll up the excess that is below the keyboard and make that a wrist rest. Like to me, that's like a poor man's like wrist rest. And like foam padding, basically. Yeah. Angled tweezers. Okay. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, we were just kind of curious because you and I were talking, and like we have a lot of interesting tools. Like obviously, soldering equipment is pretty important. You probably use that almost every time you build a keyboard, if not every time. But for me, it's this cheap pair, super cheap pair of.
Look, after being harassed about it for so long, I finally have a tweezers tray.
Wow, that's
full of
a
tweezers.
lot of tweezers too.
Yeah, I just went full out and spent a whole $2 on a pack of ESD tweezers.
Cursor Tina is asking you to link that solder sucker.
Yeah,
Maybe
sure
your
thing.
station?
Sure thing. PM me in the Discord, and after the show, I'll get you the link for my desoldering station.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to the Q&A. If you have any questions at all or want us to read anything else aloud, hit us with that @TopClack tag, and Brian will be combing through the chat, looking for that tag, looking for the things that you're asking us and wanting us to let us know about.
Yeah. I did see something earlier that we got tagged in. I want to try to scroll back.
I that one I think I got. It was from Cassidy, who is Cassidy Williams,
Yep.
who did the Scrabble set. Just want to give us a little feedback. Heads up is that she's adding a blanks kit, which is what I really wanted and asked for. Awesome. And working with Novel Keys and Strata KB for a 15x15 Scrabble board switch tester, which is what I called out. I really wanted. So
That's pretty cool.
Heck yes.
And that group buy will take place on Novel Keys, our partner's site. So very, very cool there.
Heck.
So you better make sure
Yes.
we will be covering that as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, questions starting to roll in now. All right, one and only Shempai is asking me, are you picking up an M60A? Give me the deets. Yes, I do plan to get an M60A. I'm not 100% sure on what color yet, but I do want one, and I can't not have one. I'm sorry, I have to own an M60A. Probably with the additional weight because, you know, I'm a heavy guy. I like heavy keyboards. B-Ball 2 City saying, sorry if you guys already mentioned this earlier, tuned in late. What would your favorite keycap sets for each of the Rama colors be? Oh wow.
Well.
So I actually did mention earlier that I thought that all of the colors, even for not being like quote unquote neutral colors, all looked really subtle. And which is cool because of that, in my opinion, you can get away with a lot more things. Like you could put like 9009 or GMK muted or something on like any of these colors and it'll probably look good. Or like, you know, GMK white on black, black on white, something simple will pretty much cover any of these. And I really like that idea. I don't know, if we're trying to get really technical, maybe the blue would go nice with Hydro, that lake color. I don't know what you'd use on the pink. Maybe GMK Olivia. I don't really know. That could be a thing.
GMK Olivia KA 2017.
Yep, that could be KA 2017. I think would be pretty great. On the mist, that silver color, I would, if you're not going for like a more neutral set, maybe go for something like GMK Cyan, which is still bright but gives you a little bit of accent color. Let's see, what's the other one? There's Sage.
GMK Camping, the anime.
Yeah, I don't know what you'd put on the Sage, honestly. That Sage is a very cool and unique color.
A classic beige set. GMK
I think you have to not use a green set on the Sage, if I'm being totally honest. I think you have to use something with no green in it. Just something simple like 9009 or muted. IMO. Mm-hmm. Or like GMK Stormtrooper, that black on white. I think that could look really cool there as well.
Yeah.
Biotox asking thoughts on the new Pulse, the Pulse SA set, I imagine.
We covered it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we covered it when it was teased, when it went back up in IC phase. I mean, it's still the same colorway as far as I'm aware, so I like it as much as I did before, which was a little bit.
Yeah.
I liked it enough to order it originally on mass drop, but I didn't like it enough to keep it.
You liked it enough to sell it as soon as you got it.
Yeah, well, yeah, but the reason for that was because when I first saw it, I was like, that is really cool. And we've talked about this before, but one thing that I have issues with really long wait times is, you know, my tastes change. And 6 months later, I didn't feel the same about Pulse as I did when I placed the order. And that's just kind of how it is. Lunar Sama asking, any news on the Top Clack acrylic plates? Yes.
Soon.
Very soon. I have the hopefully most finalist prototype in my hands. I will be building with it very soon. There have been a lot of bumps in the road because it turns out getting like a really solid acrylic plate with the layout options that we want is not the easiest thing because they can be a bit fragile. But this one feels a lot more like a winner to me. Once I build it up, I'll have a lot more information. But they will be coming very soon, and they will be pretty inexpensive.
And when they do come, it'll be less like a group buy and more like you order, you're gonna get it in like 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. That's all.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
We're aiming for a real quick turnaround for everyone. That's why we want to get everything set up really well first, so there's less delays for everyone.
Yep. Tomusan is saying, "Give me that X60." No. What? Why would I? I'm not selling that board. Not selling it. Melodit is asking, are there any non-mass drop sets that you think will be able a price drop? GMK Olivia?
GMK Olivia? Yes.
I'm trying to see like what he meant here. Because there's obviously a typo there, but I'm not really sure what he meant.
Any non-mass drop sets that can get price drops like mass drop, I'm guessing is the question.
Okay. I mean, some sites do that. I think Clack did that at one point because they were kind of going when he revamped his system and like his whole site. He kind of went for a little bit more of like a mass drop-esque theme where he had all that information laid out, and yeah, there's usually price drops in some group buys. It's definitely a lot more common on mass drop though because they're able to get quantities that are so high that like it looks a lot more serious.
Yeah.
GMK Olivia, hopefully, yeah, hopefully.
Camel Leopard, thank you for the sub, by the way. Awesome.
Dead Encryption is asking what color M60 I'm getting. I don't quite know yet. I'm leaning towards Lake.
Dusk, my dude. Dusk.
I'm leaning towards Lake, but I'm not 100% sure yet.
That's fine.
Once Saved Gaming is asking, can you spread the word on KeyCon?
KeyCon, it's happening in the Ace Hotel, the second floor ballroom in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on June 30th, 2018, from noon to 6 p.m.
Yep. I think we covered that like last week, right? Or the week before?
No, a long time ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. The Sky is 256K is asking, do you have a favorite travel keyboard? I don't do a ton of traveling. I really don't. But out of my collection and what I've used so far, I would probably say the Tokyo 60 is probably going to be like my travel board of choice whenever I do travel because it is pretty lightweight. It is pretty portable. And, like Alvin so elegantly put it when he was on the show, it's a street keyboard. Doesn't matter if it gets, dented or scratched up or whatever. Like, that's part of the character. It's like a skateboard or like your sneakers, It's part of the personality.
My travel board is whatever is my cheapest 60% at any given time, which currently is my acrylic gun with POM keycaps, GMK spacebar. Yes, this is my current travel board. I'm like Brian, I don't really travel with boards because I don't need to, but this would be it. A lot of people will think my HHKB, but if you've seen my HHKB review, it's too nice to just bring around. IMO.
Yep. All right, HuangVu95 is asking, so I'm gonna make MX Xylants with silent red stems. Should I lube them first or break them in first, then lube? Also, which lube should I use? I had some thick Geekhack V4 on hand. Wonder if grade 0 might work better. All right, so there's quite a bit to say on this.
Okay, so we had Krubit on recently, so a good point, I agree. If it's a not known for being very smooth kind of housing, like if you're planning on sticking with that traditional cherry housing, break it in first. If you're going to transfer them to maybe a Gatoron housing or something that's really smooth, no need to break them in. But if you're going to keep them in like the cherry housing, break them in first.
He's doing Xylants.
Then if you're doing Xylants with the Gatoron housing, Zeo housing, you don't need to break them in.
Yeah. I'm going to disagree and say it might still be worth it a little bit to break them in, but obviously a lot less of a big deal at this point. But like if your Zelios or Telios housings, whichever ones you're using, have had like at least a couple weeks worth of use, and your Silent Reds, the stems have had a couple weeks worth of use, definitely don't worry about it. But I mean, I'm kind of the kind of person that would definitely break them in even after the swap if they hadn't been used before. If they are all brand new switches, then I would definitely still break them in, because I don't mind desoldering a full board of switches or just removing the switch tops and lubing them, a little bit later, because to me that's there's really not a whole lot of time and effort difference there. But for you, that might not be the case.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's kind of personal preference. Which lube should you use? You have Keycaps V4 on hand. Are you wondering if Grade 0 might work better? So they're both fairly thick. Krellbit likes to argue that Grade 0 is still like, it feels thin, even though it is a grease. I kind of disagree. To me, it definitely still feels like a thick lube, but that's personal preference as well. I don't really like thick lubes on linears nearly as much as I like thin. I prefer thinner lubes or blends or oils. I think it doesn't change the switch feel as much, and I like that. So that's totally up to you, man. I'd probably go, get Grade 0 is pretty cheap. Get Grade
Try
0.
it out.
You have the Keycaps V4 on hand. Compare them side by side. Lube the same way with like the same kind of brush and the same spots, etc. on one switch, and then on another switch, do that same thing with the Grade 0. Compare them, see if you prefer one or the other. That would be my guess.
Awesome.
Feel G Hood Music is asking, when will the next NorCal meetup be?
We have a venue in mind. I need to go sometime in the next 2 to 3 weeks to NorCal to inspect the venue with my co-organizers. But sometime between then and now, we will be deciding on a date, which will most likely be early summer, or late spring. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Rab Sub is asking, are either of us getting the M0110?
I don't know how much it costs. I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on how much it is and when it comes out. I'd like to get one. It's a really cool board, but it's too early to know. Too early to know. What? Sire123 is asking, do you guys / one of you own GMK Blue on Black set that you might show on stream? I do not own Blue on Black. Allo World is asking or saying Rama put a bunch of renders of popular GMK sets on his page. So yeah, that's something, and he links it. That's something Rama is definitely known to do. Is kind of give you a lot of visual options.
This is really great.
You can kind of see there, yeah. Like there's, I think that's like plum and stuff. A lot of black on white as well. So you can check out some different color combinations there with key sets. Valgrab is asking, any talk about Input Club's Kira? Yeah, we actually did. Yeah. There was an announcement today for it with a lot of info. We're not really going to go over all that again because there is a fair amount of it. So just scroll back in the show later on when the VOD and you get to that. That was a little bit later in our news. Or no, it's probably like midway through our news section.
Yeah.
I don't have an exact timestamp, but it's in that range. Geo is asking, Huey, is it super sunny now?
No. When you were seeing it, actually, everything was yellow, but it was still raining. It was like the sun was like behind a ton of clouds, but it was still raining. It's really hard. It's calmed down now.
Camel Leopard forgets to tag us, so it's okay. But make sure you try to use that top Clack tag in the future because it's a lot easier for us. He's asking, is heavy industry still a thing that's going to happen? As far as I'm aware, yeah.
As far as I know.
I haven't been told otherwise, but we'll see. Blazing Penguin 99X is asking, don't know if you guys covered it already, but what are your thoughts on GMK Heisei?
Yeah, we covered it last week or 2 weeks ago.
I think it was last week.
Hunky Dory. Yeah, we like Weeb Legends.
Looks good. Yeah. Kuji is asking for our thoughts on Solarized Dark Disappointment.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad.
I actually have a set on the way, so I can comment more on that when I get it.
I don't know if it looks better in person though, because some sets actually do look better in person.
Yeah,
but
like it's hard to know because all the pictures that I've seen have been like, you know, like poor lighting, like poor angles.
Even the ones that I've seen with decent lighting, I still feel really about it.
From the pictures that I've seen, it does look a little different from the renders that I was really in love with. So maybe I probably won't like it as much, but you know, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
We'll see. Camel Leopard subscribed with a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Good on you, mate. Flux Capacitor is asking, well, he's saying, not a question, just a thank you for all your help. I love my Plum NIZ with BKE heavy domes, and I also love the box navies and Hako Trues. Thanks for all your advice. Nice, thanks, man. It's always a good feeling when we provide any kind of help. That's part of what we're here for, man. We try to be an educational and informational place as much as any kind of entertainment. So good to know that you like all those things. Those are all good stuff. I love Hakos, I love navies, I love BKEs. Good stuff. Huangbu95 is saying at 9009 round 2 had like 2 to 3 price drop, I think. So that was over on Dixie Mech. I wasn't part of that, so I wasn't really sure if he had dedicated price drops or not. The Sweaty Yeti is asking me, how is the new camera working out? Pretty well, actually. I mean, if you've seen Huey and I's collaborative COD 67 review that's been on our YouTube channel for a little while now, you can see a little bit of my first shots I've ever taken with this camera. And if you head over to talkclack.com and check out our text Clack section, I very recently actually, put up a review there of Varbillo's new electrocapacitive switch on a keyboard that they sent me. I had a review there. I took some pictures with this camera as well, so you can check out that quality in that text Clack section of the page. Yeah. Sorry, guys, still scrolling a little bit. Proximity is asking, tried polycarbonate plates / cases? Thoughts? I'm still a polycarbonate noob. I have a polycarbonate plate on standby with a PCB on standby for my E6. I have Telios on hand that I'm going to be putting in that very soon. Ooh. That's a build I can like literally do at like any moment. Possibly tomorrow on a keyboard chores stream. Huey and I are still kind of in a planning phase, but we might do keyboard chore stream either tomorrow or Saturday. So, you know, we'll see about that. What about you, Huey? Thoughts on polycarb?
Yeah, I'm pretty much a polycarb noob like you. I've tried it a few times at meetups. Feels pretty good. I don't have a polycarbonate plate on the way, but I have a polycarbonate keyboard on the way. I have a polycarb TGR 910 on the way eventually. It's getting production right now. Brass plate, brass weight insert, but polycarbonate case 910.
That's gonna be sick. I'm gonna be hyped to try that when you get that in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come to a meetup and steal it from you. Huangvu95 asking a follow-up. For silent build, will a bent steel plate is gonna be more silent than a normal case or the other way around?
I don't know.
Aluminum is always going to be quieter than steel because aluminum is a softer metal. It's way better at absorbing noise than steel is. Steel is going to ping a lot more. So I would definitely go aluminum on that route if that's what you're looking into. As far as whether it's a bent steel plate over a normal case, I don't know. I'd probably say a normal case you can get a lot quieter. Like a normal aluminum case with like some foam padding with like an aluminum plate is going to be really quiet with those lube xylants.
Yeah.
Really quiet. Ravsub asking, what lube should I use for my HHKB? I currently have 106 oil, which is an oil. But I'm planning on buying something thinner for Holy Pandas. Okay, so 106 is like a heavier oil, I guess you could say. It is still a runny oil, but it is thicker than a lot of other oils. Before Grade Zero, Krellbit really, really, really liked the 106 oil. He used that for everything. I actually have a vial, but I haven't really used it much yet, so I don't really have much comment on that. But you could totally use that on your HHKB. The last time I lubed my HHKB, I used a thin blend of 1506 and 206 that you can get from like Tech Keys or Zeal, whatever, like all those popular blends. I know a lot of people don't like blends because they do separate over time. I don't really care. So, I don't know. I like them a lot. But yeah, I mean, just give it a try. And if it doesn't work out, you just, pop everything out, and it's all plastic, so you just give it a bath.
Yeah.
Clean it up a little bit, try again. And then you'll, if nothing else, you'll have more information and more experience at that point. Feel G Hood Music is asking, so I started a YouTube channel 2 months ago dedicated to mechanical keyboards, and first have been posting typing videos mainly because I'm still camera shy. Is there any video content that members would like to see / wish existed in your opinion? I mean, that's always...
I feel like there's two big things. Other than the first big thing is find what you're good at. As someone who's done this, I have my own personal channel that I used to do all my reviews and stuff on before Top Clack, and I have a lot of reviews there. A lot of people know I started with a cell phone and doing voiceovers on my phone. Like, everything was on my phone, basically. But I personally found I like doing reviews of keyboards the best, because I view keyboards as the sum of all parts. Like, you can change one part between keyboard to keyboard, and it can become a new beast entirely. So reviews is a big thing people like, because I have this kind of view toward it. Brian has his own view toward how to review keyboards. Everyone, I think, has a different way of reviewing keyboards. So that's definitely one thing I'd suggest maybe considering. Even if you're camera shy, almost all of our reviews, you don't see our faces. You see us narrate. Because
not because we're camera shy, because obviously we do this show and you're watching both of us face to face right now. So, but it's just a difference.
The other thing is something that maybe it is completely really different. Like, one thing that I do differently on Top Clack is I also have the Switch series, where I cover switches and their internals, how they work, force graphs, and explaining how they feel and whatnot. Something, if you've watched another mechanical keyboard YouTuber, Choken, he has a really cool new series he started, which is keyboard spotting in movies. If you haven't checked that out, you should. It's pretty cool. Something like that, unique content like that, is also really, really cool. There isn't much content creation in the media side in our community yet, as it's growing. So the space is really open. Explore all sorts of different things. And I think as long as you have fun with it, it'll be a good time for everyone.
Yeah. And if you can find something that like no one else is doing, that's like instantly already like one of the best things you can do. Because people will have to go to you for that kind of specialized content. So yeah, that's as for what we think, as for what we wish to see or what we wish existed, I honestly have no idea. But like, that's part of the fun, right? Like, you need to find like what no one else is doing and do that, because then you'll probably have a lot higher chance to succeed. But like Huey said, the media space in keyboards is still really new, like really, really, really new. Like, nobody else does what we do. And like, we've only been doing it for like a year and a half now. And I mean, there's other people that build keyboards on stream. That's not really new. Pete has been doing that for a while. Anthony has been doing that for a while. They both, pull in viewers and stuff when they build keyboards. But, that's a little bit more common these days. But yeah, just find something that no one else is doing, man. And don't tell anyone about it.
Yeah,
do
it. Or give yourself a very unique voice, or unique not voices physically, but unique outlook when reviewing something, because people like different points of view. That's why people will always try to find as many reviews as they can before they buy something. So
yep. Chewy182 is asking, any suggestions for a replacement case for a Cooler Master Master Keys Pro M that is not black? If I'm not mistaken, the Pro M is that very unique layout that they do. It's like I think they used to call it a Quickfire TK. It's not a 10 keyless, it's not a 60%, and it's not a full size. It's something that's like absolutely unique to them, in which case I don't think there's a replacement case at all. because there's no like top part of a housing that would match that, because it's unique only to them.
Mm-hmm.
Geo is asking if I'm still using the Brio for streams. Yeah, I'm still using the 4K webcam for streams. That's up here right now. Eventually, I will move over to my camera once I get a capture card and set some things up. I mean, that's a project for the future eventually.
Not gonna lie, not really worth it for top Clack stream. More only worth it for build stream. Like, I've reverted back to using the 1080p because it's a pain in the ass to set it up because of my cable management and how everything's set up.
For sure.
Because you guys see, I use my arm here with my camera for my build streams.
Yeah, and it's really cool. It's a cool setup. Definitely. We need to get another Brio.
Yeah.
Find another used Brio.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to try a rapid fire here, about 13 minutes behind. So Neflock is asking, slightly off topic, but what do you guys do for a living? Always curious about professions that cross over with this hobby. I work at a casino. I'm a dual rate, which means I deal cards, I deal table games, and I'm also a floor supervisor, depending on the day. So not terribly interesting.
I work at a solar company, and I design residential and commercial solar systems.
Really, really exciting. Violet Viceroy is asking, what are your most and least favorite trends that are hot right now in the community? That's a really good question. Most and least favorite trends in the community. Huh.
Odd sub 60% layouts and keyboards. It's like their own community within themselves, and they like propel themselves forward, which makes them hot among each other. And I think it's weird, like the TMO50 we covered earlier, things like that. Things have been popping up like that. Like that, I understand why it's there. They have their own circle, and it's hot right now, but not for me.
I mean, I don't necessarily know if it's like a trend, but one thing I don't really care much for is how big flat keycap profiles are becoming. So obviously we had DSA before, and then XDA came out. Now Mix is kind of fitting that as well, and then Vortex has a new profile coming out called VTG, which to me looks just like XDA. So I think we should have more interesting keycap profiles come out instead of just like a bunch of flat stuff. I think Mix maybe not lumped in with that quite as much because it does have a little bit of a sculpt, but it is still like a very flat kind of affair.
I call it the best of all the flat profiles because it has that sculpt.
Yeah. I'm really curious for DSS to come out though.
I'm excited for
DSS,
cool. And I'm excited for Hub because I actually tried the 3D printed version of Hub when Evan had them, and they're kind of like Mix where they were a sculpted semi-flat. They felt pretty nice to be TBH.
All right. Most favorite trends. I'm probably gonna say a lot of the designs that are coming out of the Chinese community lately, just because they are just like so wacky and wild and like unlike anything we've seen before. So yeah.
One of my favorite trends is in the enthusiast community that there's more people getting in. So on a trend, custom keyboards on average are getting nicer in quality and more different designs. So like there's just an upward trend of quality because there's more people to support the hobby. Great.
Yep. Samuel Cable is saying, I'm late, but have you guys discussed the pretty big difference between solarized dark renders and how different the actual caps turned out? Yes. Or is that just me? That is not just you. We talked a little bit about that literally a few minutes ago, so you can always go back and check that out. Quinn Ma is asking, just wondering if there's any date on Black Lotus. Not that I've seen yet.
No clue.
Yeah, Baby Feet's asking, do you feel the community is getting more high-end lately? That's kind of an interesting question, actually.
Yes and no. So there's always going to be more people joining the community. And for me, the great part is there's more people for us to teach and reach, which means there's hopefully more people who will become bigger enthusiasts like us. And I feel like whenever you join, the longer you've joined, that means the longer you've known people in the hobby. And more likely, the people you've known have also progressed through the hobby as you have. So the people around you seem like they're getting more high-end because you are.
Yep, and I also think it's worth noting that it's also it's a lot more accessible to get like those like mid-tier to high-end boards these days. Like you can spend a couple $100 and get something like pretty nice these days, like a pretty nice custom build. And there's, with how big the community is, there are so many group buys,
all the
going
time.
on. Like we can't keep up. Like, there's a new board out like basically every day.
It's
like,
almost
nuts.
as if there's so many things coming out, we can make a news show out of it, that we have new news every single week.
Which is why we were on time. Make sure you tune in every week, Thursdays, 6 p.m. Pacific time. The Sky is 256K is asking, good place to buy sound dampening foam.
Amazon.com.
Amazon. Yeah, you can get sorbethane for $15.
We can talk about it also on our Discord quite a bit. We're having discussions about it today, and we'll probably continue to have discussions about it today.
Yep, Amazon.com. You can get sorbethane mats for like $15, which is going to be enough to cover several keyboards. I have Silverstone silencing foam. You can type that into Amazon. That was like $16 or $18, and that covers like a lot of boards. Like you can cover like all your collection for like your lifetime with how much you get for like $18.
Yeah.
All right, Feel Age Good Music saying, thanks for the solid advice. Yeah, Chokan's actually someone who's been actively watching my channel. Great guy. Yeah. He is. He chills out in our Discord sometimes too. He's really cool. B-Ball2 City is asking, what do you guys think about the recent mech market craze on Inver Pandas? Like Switches priced at $2 a Switch and are usually sold in seconds.
Our bad.
Yeah, so that's kind of our fault. But at the same time, like the Holy Panda combination is like really, really, really good and really unique.
Yeah.
It's unlike any other MX Switch.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's just how it goes, man. Like
supply and demand.
Yes.
Until round 2 Pandas happen, which is soon, TM.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna be.
The hype will probably die down a little bit eventually.
When the Royals come out,
it's still kind of in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, depending on how Royals are in comparison to Holy Pandas. All right, don't worry. I'm catching up, I promise. Huangvu is saying, the trend of the year is Japanese sub-legend because Laser made the mold last year. Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of those nowadays. The Sweaty Yeti is asking, any idea when the next Castle keyboard stream will be? Yes, tomorrow at 8 p.m. Pacific time, the same time we have always been doing it lately. Good stuff. Bam, caught up. Lightning round, always good.
Feels
always good
good stuff. No, it feels good. .gif. I'm upgrading it. We have more bandwidth. I'm bringing out the GIF, not yeah. .exe. Oof, oof.
Keeping it classic.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. So that'll be our cue to head out now that we have no more questions. Thank you guys so much for watching. We definitely appreciate it. We will be back as usual next Thursday, same time, same place. And then make sure, like we just mentioned, check out tomorrow's stream at 8 p.m. Pacific time. That'll be a series we've been doing lately and have for about the last month, where we sit down with Input Club engineer and designer Overkill. He's a super nice and knowledgeable guy, and he takes us through what it's like to design a keyboard. And we basically design the keyboard with your input. There's a little form that goes out, and then you fill out like what you might want to see, etc. It's really cool.
I'll show you guys some pics on the Discord if you guys PM me or just message me in general on the Discord. If you can, thank you Captain Chua for the free sub 7 months in a row. If you have Amazon Prime, that means you have Twitch Prime, and if you're not using that Twitch Prime subscription, please consider using it on us. Every little bit helps. If you're able to sub, that's wonderful. Any bits help as well. Feel free to check out all of our partners who have awesome things. They also help make this possible. Everyone, thank you so much. We'll see you on another wonderful episode of Top Clack every Thursday at 6 Pacific. Castle Build stream Fridays 8 p.m. Pacific.
And make sure you also join our Discord.
Join our Discord. Subscribe to our YouTube.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Both links can be found under the stream. Both things are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
more videos. We
do have
more
a
great things
1K sub. 1K sub YouTube giveaway coming very soon. Once we figure out what we're giving away, we're gonna try to make it something pretty cool. So be on the lookout for that. Sub to the YouTube for that.
Well, until then, everyone, take care. Hope you enjoy the VOD if you're here late.